Girl, you the man, and she love me when I'm in it, and she never be pretending, nothing is real. She gon' tell you what she bought it, cause she know you can't afford it. Know you can get it, looking exquisite, no competition, stay on the pivot, hope be watching it.
Hi, and I am so excited for you guys to meet my next guest. This is Barrie Livingstone, who is all the buzz. We're getting ready to get some super exclusive eSpot information that's going on with him right now. So, Barrie, please tell our listeners and viewers what you have going on and a little bit about yourself. Thank you so much
Well,
for being.
first of all, it is so nice to be here because I've been listening here and there, and it's so nice to actually know that I'll be listening to myself one day on your show. So thank you very much for having me. I am actually in the middle. I'm based in Los Angeles and have been for the past 10 years, and we are opening a shop in Cabo San Lucas, an area called San Jose del Cabo, and it's the one and only hotel in Palmilla is an exclusive resort right on the sea, and we have found the most incredible space. It's about 1,800 square feet, and it will be called the House of Barrie, and it's going to be celebrating all things good. La Dolce Vita is the tagline, so it's a sweet life.
Oh, I love it. So now we have more than one reason to go down to Cabo. We have to go to House of Barrie. So what can people expect from there? Because a lot of times people go there for like a vacation. Is this going to be to style their resort, or is it something to go take back home as
Well,
well?
what's happening is because everyone can live in different places now, and COVID has even hyper emphasized that. So it's only 2 hours from LA, 2.5 hours from Dallas, and I think it's 3.5 hours from Miami. So people are buying second homes there, and people are moving there. So it's become this. It's always been a safe haven for Americans. Feel safe there, and it's all the way down. It's at the very bottom. So it's just warm. It's dry. It's beautiful, and there's yachts, and there's it's the rich and famous. It's really, really a fabulous place to be. We just are so excited to be there.
So it sounds like some champagne wishes will be made there for
There will
sure.
be champagne wishes and caviar dreams all over that furniture, darling. There certainly will be. And so I'm curating everything now because we've been there several times. And what the reason why we're opening it is because three people in 1 week said, "Why aren't you opening a design store?" And I'm like, it was the furthest thing from my mind, honestly. And then I kept realizing the crap that was there and the immense wealth.
Let
I
me guess, a
mean,
lot of wicker and shiplap.
well, no, there isn't wicker actually, and some of the nicer rattan now is something that they don't get in Mexico because they can't make it there. It's from the Philippines or from the east side of the world. So I'm just trying to do a tropical minimalism, but with very bright color as well. So I'm really thrilled that we're going to be the only Missoni home boutique in the entire Baja Peninsula. So I've just went through and we're going to do all the towels, bathrobes, the sexy, gorgeous bathrobes, pillows, and I'm doing a big sectional in Missoni fabric. It's going to be the only $20,000 sofa, but you know something? It's going to be gag and it's going to bring people in.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. When you make them gag, it's all worth it, right?
Exactly. That's why Gaga ooh la la. That's
Love
why.
it. So Lady Gaga will be all over there. No, I'm just kidding. So I have more questions for you. When you here at High Point Market and you're looking for different things, what stands out to you? What are you looking for here to either to supply your store or for clients as well?
Well, it's very difficult because it's a hodgepodge because they've not really arranged it by style, and then so many of the companies have three or four different distinct styles within them. So it takes a trained eye, honestly. I mean, you've been doing it for a while. This is now the first time I came to High Point was 1994, so it's my 17th year, and I used to come twice a year for 8 years while I had my shop in Miami Beach. So you kind of evolve and you hone your senses. But what I'm realizing now is that if I don't make a list and make that hold for confirmation order right now, I won't remember it because we call it market brain, and by the end of the first day, after 16 floors in 27 different buildings, you really can't remember what you've got.
Everything looks great.
I mean,
I'll
it's just
take
like,
one of
yeah,
everything.
exactly, six of that and four of that. But and then what happens is I just don't want to have any surprises when it comes in. Like, oh my God, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? So I'm really taking the time to curate everything, and then when I get home next week, I'm gonna spend hours just really dreaming like how this retail mix will look because you're almost on an island because it's so far away from everything and nothing can come from the mainland of Mexico. You have to either take a boat across to La Paz or you have to fly in. So it's kind of this isolated area where there's this huge pocket of wealth from all over, and they just want luxury and they want nice things in their houses. Many people are using designers from America that are bringing things down, but I'm noticing that they're not getting the Baja lifestyle. Like, I don't want to see things that I would see in Atlanta or see things in Dallas that would be there, because you're in Mexico. It should feel that vibe. It should have that vibe, which is, it's kind of weird because it's not tropical, because it's desert. So, but it's not American Southwest. So it's different than doing Joshua Tree or different than Palm Springs. There's not that kitsch element to it. It's a very sophisticated palette of woods, stones. Everyone has told me that they want to use only Sombrella only, because everything gets stained, because you're literally in the pool. You're in shorts all the time. So it's very much...
So no leather couches.
No, you can't. Although I had someone there who bought a restoration leather, hardware leather, like an $11,000 sofa, and they can't sit on it because you're sticking to it. So everything. I think my years as being a hospitality designer are really coming into play here, because with hotels, it's all about longevity and maintenance. So I really feel like I'm almost being design mom, like anything that's going to be on the floor, and I can't believe I'm saying I'm becoming design mom, but anything that's going to be on the floor is going to have to pass the test of, I don't want customers coming back in, a month after having something saying, oh my God, it's stained, I can't get it out. So a lot is going to be in Sombrella, or just really durable, maybe low pile chenilles, or like this, like, heavy cloth that's easy to clean.
That sounds great. So for people who are possibly coming for their first time, and you mentioned market brain, are there any other tips that you would give them on how to really be like a veteran here? Because there is so many things. It can be a little overwhelming, and thankfully, I guess some ways with COVID being a thing, it's not as full, but it's still a lot it's really easy to overwhelm yourself.
Yeah, I think the first time you come to High Point, it's definitely, I would stay in the big buildings initially, because then you get lost if you think about all the other buildings everywhere. So fortunately, IHFC, the building that we're in now on the 5th floor in Zuo. Thank you, Lewis, for having us. Fortunately, there's a lot represented here. I mean, it goes from Bernhardt and Sentry, which you would think are very traditional, but they're getting more hip and more with it. And then we're here in Zuo, which is got the finger on the pulse of design, right? So I think that if you stay, my advice is stay in the bigger buildings, because then it doesn't become as daunting, And make sure you have a good breakfast and don't drink too much at night.
Yeah, watch out for all the free cocktails. It can hit you really quickly, because you're not seeing outside. It's like Vegas in a way. Once
It is
you're
very
in.
Vegas-y. It really is. Yeah, without the smoke. Thank God they don't allow smoking in here.
Yeah. Thank you, North Carolina, for that. Now, so like looking forward into the future, everybody is changing their homes because they've been home for over a year for the most part, and so many people are now also working remotely. And like you mentioned, they can work remotely from anywhere, even the joys of Cabo San Lucas. So, what advice do you give as far as what looking forward to future types of furniture or types of looks that will really
I'm really telling people here, because it's all about ergonomics in the home, and you really, just because you can sit on the sofa and kind of like slouch and be on you really shouldn't be working like that. It's very bad for your back, and it's bad for posture. So always, 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 you have to always sit at a dining table, and always, if you're in a bar stool, make sure it's the right height, so you're not bending over, because that's like a big situation. So I'm one of the things I'm finding here, they have here at Zuo, they have 2 fabulous really cool office chairs that don't look officey. So, and I'm preaching to people.
Their new game chairs?
Yes, like gorgeous.
Oh, that's perfect for podcasting.
The game
They hold your
changers are the game chairs are a game changer.
I love your puns.
No, but I'm saying at least there should be a place in the house where you have a chair on casters that's really comfy to sit in, because we all work at different moments of the day. But if you're going to sit down for an hour and have a Zoom call, or you're going to be, you really need to posture yourself in the right position so that you don't end up like with a bad back or something. Hunched over. So I'm really all about
or killing your bed.
Yeah.
Those that are doing it in their beds.
Well, you shouldn't be unless you're Elizabeth Taylor and everything's like spread out.
Or Mariah Carey. I always see her like lounging. I'm like, to have that life.
Well, or you have a closet like Mariah Carey's. That would be nice. We like that.
One to dream.
Yes. So what else do we have to say?
Tell everybody what you have coming up, because you have all this new exciting things besides the store. You also have some
Besides the store, well, so there's I'm going to be on this show called Staycation, which I believe is on CBS in August or September. I own a couple of properties in Joshua Tree in California, and one of them has like 5 acres, and they found me on Airbnb. So it's all about staycation in the desert. So they've chosen like 5 different Airbnbs. So I'm filming that on June the 10th, which will be out in August or September. And then there's something, we have a show, it's a design travel log. So it's me traveling around the world, and it's all about how I see design in different places of the world. And that should be coming out. We're negotiating right now, but that should be out next year.
Oh,
for
so you
sure,
haven't done
yeah.
the travels yet, but
Well, no, we did. We filmed the first one. We actually filmed the first show in
what were some of
Iceland.
the favorite places? Oh,
Well, we
Iceland!
went to
I
Iceland.
love
We went to
Iceland.
Iceland. We went to Reykjavik last September, and we were actually all set to meet with Netflix in March of last year, and it was right when COVID came out. So we couldn't go back to them until now basically. So it got shelved. But it's a design travel log, and it's basically, I've always been obsessed with how we live in our places, different dwellings throughout the world, because human beings have the same characteristics, and whether you're in Iceland or whether you're on the plains of Africa or whether you're in South Beach or in Dallas, there are certain things that we want to have, and we're obsessed with decorating our nest. That's what we are. We're obsessed with like grabbing things that we like and surrounding ourselves with things, which fortunately for us designers is good, right?
So tell me, what do you think as far as going forward? I mean, just from seeing all the different things that you've been doing, what kind of design show would you like to do next? If you could design it all yourself, start from scratch, because you mentioned three that you're already doing, and they're so different that I'm
Well, the
curious
one-
what would be your
I think
ideal?
the one that I'm doing now, I like the idea of just analyzing how people are as human beings and what our needs are in different parts of the world. Because there are things that you would do, and well, I'm very aware of this because living in Miami most of my life, most of my clients were in New York. So
Oh wait, you're from Miami? I would have never
no,
guessed that by
Eng-
your accent.
I'm
No.
English, but we moved to Miami as a child. I was dragged, ripping and screaming out of jolly old England to a swamp, a partially drained swamp in Fort Lauderdale. But that's a different story. So, but anyway, so what I realized is that all my clients in Florida, everybody wanted to do something different because they weren't in New York. And when I moved to LA, I've been in LA like 10 years now, 11 years, but people in Los Angeles really live in Los Angeles. It's really their main home. So it's so nice to be able to design main residences because you really get involved with people a lot more. Whereas when I'm doing a house in Palm Springs or in a secondary area, wherever the second area is, it's also a fantasy because you're doing things that you wouldn't normally do at home. And you're doing something that is unique to that area. Because in Palm Springs, if you can't do kitsch, if you can't do something fun in Palm Springs, then, even if you want to do strict mid-century modern, you should have, like, you've got to do pale yellow and, fuchsia, like things that you can't do
Very
normally.
60s bright, bold
Yeah.
colors.
I mean, if you can't do that in Palm Springs or Miami Beach, then it's kind of sad. Because, because it kind of look weird if you're in, a different part of the world or in Seattle, like with, fuchsia walls. Not that you can't do that, but it could look a bit odd, yeah.
One way to stay on out, for sure. So, what advice do you have for next year or just looking forward? What's your future advice, your lasting thoughts?
My lasting thoughts are always less is more. As I'm packing up my life and moving to Mexico, I'm going to be there and back between Cabo San Lucas and LA. And you realize how much stuff you have, you know what I mean? And I think that it's very important to choose your furniture pieces wisely. Like I have certain pieces that I've had with me for years, and even though it's nice to get things, to get things of value or on a bargain, things change over time and our tastes change over time. So, but there's certain pieces you'll find that I've always like my go-to pieces. I don't know. I have. It's really my artwork and my accessories. It's things that I've found while I'm traveling. Those are the things that mean the most to me. Whereas it's funny, like the upholstery comes and goes. It's like upholstery schmolstery. Like, to me that those are things that are the accessories of the apartment. Like normally people think of accessories as a vase or a book or certain things that you would have around the house. But to me the accessories really are the bigger furniture pieces because those are the ones that I find people tire of a lot. And if you think about styles coming and going every 5 to 7 years, the sofa is the biggest thing in the room, and it can be it can be very outdated. It can become very outdated. So, but to me, the right accessories will always be the right accessories. Should be things that you've really adore, that you've chosen to be with you, and they can come along with your trip on your life with you.
That's great. So, where can everyone follow you and keep up with you and find all of these wonderful things that you're doing, especially
So
in
you
your
can
store?
definitely go to barrielivingstone.com or House of Barrie. So House of Barrie will be the shop, and we're set up on Shopify. So it's House of Barrie, and it's Barrie. I'm sure you'll put it on the screen. But it's my way of just showing all the things that I love and that I would want to have around me on the beach in Mexico. So it's quite exciting.
Thank you so much for being my guest today. This was so much great information. I love when I get an East Spot exclusive. So, again, this is Barrie Livingstone, and we're here at High Point Market. Come on down and join us.
Come on down, get you some. Get you some good design.
Spot. So we're just going to record our recording of her recording.
Double trouble.
Trouble.
So, welcome to High Point again. This is the East Spot exclusive here at High Point Market, and I'm so excited to finally do this interview in person, not on virtual. We're here in person
And
with
we're
the
unmasked.
Danny.
We are
Masked.
unmasked.
We can see each other's smiles. We're
know.
vaccinated, so we're safe.
Totally vaccinated.
So, tell me, how excited are you to be in person at I was about to say at the Danny Russo show, at High Point Market?
Oh my God, I'm so excited because this hasn't happened in what, over a year and a half? We had October market of 2018, and that was the last market, right?
I don't even
No,
remember.
20
You're making me do math.
2019.
But more importantly,
So I never
all
stopped
this
during this
exciting stuff.
pandemic.
Yeah, so share everything that you've been working on, because now we have your
Now-
baby is out and about.
I am featured
he is
in a
kicking.
book, yeah. And we had to shoot this during the pandemic,
Higher,
which was
higher.
quite a challenge shooting
Yeah.
this in the pandemic.
It's
So-
beautiful.
Yes, the book is called Best of Show. Donna Moss is the author, but it's 12 designers, and we're all featured in it. And I have one of my baby projects in here.
Texture in that
I love
shower.
textured tile. I'm all about texture these days.
So this is
And then, yeah,
your work is always about being bold, being different.
being bold, being
Yes.
different, quirky, unique.
New term, kitschy even.
How is kitschy a new term?
I don't know. It's not really, but it's a new term that's been used today, kind of a lot.
I don't
Yeah.
do kitsch.
Well,
Kitsch
it's
is
for
like
Palm Desert.
Gimmicky. Is that right?
I mean, I think of kitschy being like really 60s, like something that's kind of funny, maybe
Kitschy.
random that wouldn't make sense. And,
Yeah,
you know,
like-
I think of that when I think of like some of your hand seats.
The hand chairs?
Yeah, like that reminds me of something that's
that
kinda
in here.
kitschy. I don't know if it's in there. I
It's
just
not.
Okay, I don't know. I was just
But
thinking
yeah,
from
that-
other work you've done.
that's unique.
You know,
It's a
unique.
statement
for
piece,
having,
a statement
those
piece.
those portraits that are pills, or you know, like things that make you second guess it. Or
Yes.
like, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
I
Portraits
love
and it's like a
engaging all the
dog or
senses
something.
and making people ask, what am I looking at? And then it's like, is that pills? Well, no, it's actually the physician's desk reference. That was wallpaper that Damien Hirst made, and he refinished the whole Palms Hotel in his motif, and that's in Vegas. Definitely check it out. Very cool space.
So tell everyone, what have you been working on in the pandemic? So you got your book.
Got my
But
book.
what else is going on with you? 'Cause
We-
you have some more exciting things coming out.
We're getting ready to launch Danny Does Design. So we filmed that during the pandemic, and we have had a little bit of technical difficulties getting the show out. So it should be out sometime this summer, sooner the better. But I'm also on season 2 of Best of Show with Trish. She's been on the podcast before. And what else? That's it. I've been working like crazy.
You've been working like a worker.
Yeah.
I like to call it.
I have a podcast. My podcast is called The Design Exchange with Melinda Peters-Elliott. Julia from Bold has been in my office giving me a Molloy makeover.
So you've been using her Bold Summit tips. that
Yes.
she gives.
Oh my God, she's amazing. I literally think of her every day because she literally wrote the book of how to manage me and make me
it's
happen.
clearly working.
It is. I'm difficult. I'm not an easy person to manage, but we've had so much fun. She's been out to Ohio twice to give me some very needed assistance.
Understandable. In this pandemic, it's been a lot going on, but you also helped me
I
in
helped
a big
you-
way. You
We had
virtually
furniture
designed.
back then.
Yeah, well, yeah, 8 months ago.
Yeah, I did
So
virtually design your bedroom and your office.
You did. So the wonderful
What'd you
desk
think of
that
it?
I love my desk so
Good.
much, and of course my bed as well. It's my
Yeah.
safe haven, and I may have to admit that sometimes it's my office when I'm being lazy because it's just so beautiful and
Same.
like just so like comfortable.
I
Like
know,
it's
I
a
love it.
vacation from home.
Yeah.
Even the mattress, which I know wasn't from you, but you
No.
even suggested which one for me to get. Like, 'cause you go to the mattress
I
store and there's like
suggested
one
which one
every
for you to
corner.
get and how to use it.
And yeah, so we went to squeaky noises. Very important information. You
Yeah.
know, when you're-
Yeah.
But needless to say, like at the same time with my desk, I needed something that was functional yet attractive. And when I I was featured on the news, I was so
I saw
proud
that.
to show off.
I
my
saw that, and I didn't
goodness.
even realize it. I'm like, wait, we did that over the phone. People don't realize me and Camille talk, every morning?
Every day.
Just about every morning, I call her over coffee.
It's my coffee.
Yeah. And I can tell when she's out of bed by what she's posting or liking. So I'll call her on my way to work. And sometimes the conversations get into, my God, we cover everything. We cover everything. And
We've
I'm like,
solved all the problems
one
in the
day
world.
I'm like, okay, we're going there. And I'm like, hold on, I need to get more coffee for that.
Well, so speak about that, because you were the one that started changing some of the terms from the master bedroom to...
The primary bedroom
There we go.
and the secondary bedroom, from master to guest. So, and a lot of people have been talking about that. I actually heard a client say that it was my hairdresser. One of his clients said, don't say master bedroom anymore. That's inappropriate. They said you should say owner's suite, which I think is even more inappropriate. So I call it the primary bedroom and the secondary bedroom. But that's been an industry shift going on since last summer.
No, and I told you that even in my mom's groups on Facebook, they're talking about, how refreshing it is to not hear master bedroom anymore in all these different design shows. And so
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that it started over coffee with us.
We
but
did
maybe.
start it. We kind of did, because after that conversation, that's when I started calling it that. And people are like, what are you talking about? I'm like, that's just what we're calling it.
Yeah,
End of
primary
story.
bedroom. And I love it. So, again, just speaking about, I'm speaking to the interior designer of Bold and changing things and trends. So, looking forward and just from your experience here being at High Point Market, and we're so lucky that Zuo Modern gave us the showroom for me to use today. It looks amazing. I'm like in love with all the velvet and texture and just colors and gold. You know I love yellow gold.
I just
It
saw Rachel
rocks.
Moriarty out of the corner of my eye. She's
Speaking
one of my
of,
best.
like all the bold colors, the beautiful
Yeah.
things, all the beautiful people are here. You guys are missing out.
Yeah, it's like finally getting back with people that I've missed for over a year. Yeah.
But what trends do you see coming towards, or what? I mean, because you're not very trendy. You're the kind you start trends. So what
I
would you
do.
suggest for people to
I'm-
follow you?
So I'm really into organics right now, geometric patterns.
So
geometric
shiplap?
things going on. Oh, you know how I feel about.
I just love setting you up with that one because I did it with Barry too, and he just
I
like,
think
walked right over it.
shitlap is going to be the new trend for 2020 and beyond. What year is it?
It was very
2021.
nice, but he's like, Texas does
No.
not deserve to be in
I mean, shiplap has its place, and shiplap belongs on the coast. Gray washed floors belong near water on a coastal area. So everything's about bold wallpaper, bold trends, textured fabrics, fuzzy pillows. The new trend,
May come home with me.
you're gonna,
Shaggy and Lovey.
if you follow me at the Danny Russo or Danny Russo, the newest trend that's out is Grand Millennial. So grandma meets millennial. So it's using
What
all
is-
the millennials are getting their grandmother or antique. They're getting their grandmother's antiques and they're pairing them with modern pieces that are sometimes more affordable, and they're giving new life to these antiques that you would never think to use. So wait till you see the project I just finished. I'm working on right now. It's just
The pink house?
yes.
Okay, so
not the pink house.
Oh.
The one with the Kate Spade sofa.
okay,
The pink sofa.
the one that has the
Kate,
living
yeah.
room in between the dinette area.
Yeah.
So that was
we're
an
working on
interesting
that.
space. Like you always are working in such creative, different houses and
It
pieces.
is.
Like,
I'm working on a whole limestone. There's limestone on the ceiling in this house we're working on, and I'm like, what am I like? I have to get water to an 1800s fountain, so I'm always up for a challenge, and DFR in it.
oh, I can't wait to see. Are you gonna video this, or is it gonna be on your
It's
show?
gonna be a long project. We'll see what happens.
So it's not a 100-day.
I just saw it last week. You were on the phone with me when I
No,
saw
I
it.
know, but still,
I need a
you
minute.
don't work as fast as the television shows. Like they just 100 days and they can build a house. And
Yeah, with a $50 budget. She runs the TCBY in the mall, and he's a golf caddy, and the budget's $2 million. Like, where's
very
the money?
realistic.
And then we're going to do it in 10 days.
Yep,
And then condense it down to 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm like, I know on film sets they make things really quickly, but they're not made to sustain. They're not going to last. So
Yeah.
I love that you do take your time with things.
We
And
do,
right
I
now,
do.
Also, with furniture being kind of a shortage, can you speak a little bit about that? Because I'm
Oh.
sure a lot of people are hearing from their interior designers that things are coming slowly. Can you speak to that? So
Yes.
you're experiencing it.
We are not. So what we're experiencing is we're experiencing a lumber shortage at the moment because when the pandemic happened, the building industry set the tone for what was going to be built in 2020. Well, they didn't realize that a pandemic would be happening. There'd be a rush on home goods, furniture, blah, blah, blah. So what they had planned in 2019 for 2020 sold out immediately, and they thought the building trend would slow down into 21. Well, it didn't slow down. It actually picked up. So when the mills reopened, they can only reopen after being closed for 3 months, they could only open at half capacity. They had to do social distancing, so they couldn't produce things fast enough. And then God decided to give Texas a wonderful ice storm, and that's where all of the foam is produced for the inserts of pillows and cushions. And everybody's ordering from at home on Amazon, so getting ships from overseas into America has been nearly impossible. So we're seeing a backlog. We have a labor shortage, a material shortage. It's like the perfect storm.
So what's the current jobs that people should be going into right now? What are you doing?
I would recommend carpenters, electricians.
So all the trades.
Yeah,
You guys are in high
tradespeople.
demand.
That's what I recommend going into, because you can make a killing. And sometimes we're in a market where contractors will call us looking for jobs, and now we're calling them, and they're like, I don't like that person, I don't like that job. No, give me another one.
They have like
They can pick and choose from what they want to do. So
wow.
yeah, that's always another thing to compete with.
They're talking about all these droughts that are happening
Oh my
in the
God.
Midwest and the Southeast and so on.
But we have a drought every 10 years. We have a recession just about every 10 years. So our last recession was 2008. We have a pandemic on top of a recession. So who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, I'm not a forecaster. I was listening on the news on the way here, and they were talking about the droughts and might have an effect on that as well. And I'm like, oh no, we don't
Las
need
Vegas
more
may
of
not
this.
have a lot of water. Yeah.
So-
But LA was in a drought like 4 or 5 years ago, which affected a lot of the wine industry, or the wildfires. Yeah. So who knows what's next in the world of interior
we
design?
just got to keep going with it.
Keep
Just
going. I
decorating
love how
and
you picked a
changing.
nice, beautiful
Well, it's the best place
green
for
black
Wi-Fi,
wall.
just in case.
green black. That's green black.
It's not your charcoal that you like.
No,
for
I
the
like
ceilings.
caviar. Caviar is my color.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, there's green black inkwell, which is a blue black.
okay.
This is a green black.
It was blue black, but I see the green now that you brought it up.
Yeah, it's green.
When you think you're colorblind, you'll make sure of it.
I know.
So,
I'm good at that.
speaking more about what's coming up with you, do you have any other exciting things you can tell us? Any eSpot exclusives?
I cannot speak of them at the moment.
I hate when you have to
But-
plead the fifth.
Yes, I have to plead this fifth. What I would like to do is, I know you've been involved with a certain charity, and I would like to make a $1,000 contribution to your George Floyd Memorial. What is it? The Memorial Center? Yes. So I'm going to be making that donation when I get back to Ohio, and that's what I was waiting to tell you.
Don't make me cry.
Yes. So I'm happy. No, I'm just happy that you're always involved in stuff, and you're keeping everybody on their toes, and you're so involved with everything.
On camera, because there's a party getting ready to happen.
know.
But oh my God,
Yes. And I was trying to get a big check, and I couldn't get it printed fast enough.
oh my God,
And then if I would have called you and asked you to do it, I'm like, how am I going to do this? And I was calling around, like, does anybody have a dry erase check? So, anyway, if you need to find big checks, they take 3 days to make.
well, good to know. I had no idea. That is so funny because I got in a lot of trouble when I was a kid. I pranked my grandmother into thinking she won the Publishers Clearinghouse, and I was like, look for the guy with the big check.
He'd fill those things out all the time.
Well, that was my punishment. I had to fill them out from then on out because, yeah, I told her it was at the airport with balloons and the big check. Just look for the guy with the big
You
check.
sent her there?
Well, actually,
Oh
my
my-
uncle went in her place because it was I was from Europe. I didn't know where the airports were, and we always flew in from RDU. So I just told her RDU, not knowing
my
Charlotte
God.
was closer to her. So my uncle that lived near RDU, he went.
That's Raleigh Durham.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I got in a lot of trouble.
How old were you?
10 maybe, because I didn't live in America yet, but we had come for a vacation,
Yeah,
thank
yeah, yeah.
goodness. So it gave them time to forget what I did, but they never forgot. Like to this day, they
That is
punk on me
hilarious.
about it. So I've never seen a large check in person, so I would love that. But at the same time, your
Okay, another time.
generosity is
Yes.
amazing, Danny.
You
thank
inspire
you.
me. So,
I'm glad I did something good. You're the
yes,
best.
Soriel.
Well,
I'm just happy to do
love
it.
that, and thank you
Yeah,
so much.
you're welcome.
Especially here, right here in North Carolina, too. Well,
Yes, I
Yeah.
forgot you were just down the street.
Yeah.
Well, everywhere in North Carolina, there's nothing down the street. Everything's down one road that's 45 minutes away. A
Well,
minimum of 45 minutes away.
even within my own neighborhood, I'm always like, it takes me 30 minutes to
Yeah.
get anywhere.
I
It's like
mean, in
living
LA, you're like 20 minutes from everywhere, like in
No,
Clueless.
it's 4 or 5 hours if you get
True.
on the 405.
Yeah.
That's literally why it's called that. But
It took me
needless to
6
say-
hours to get here. I
That's
drove.
right, you drove
Yeah,
down.
we
And you
drove.
had to, like, deal with fires.
Uh-huh. There's a car fire on the way. But there's never a dull moment with me.
Never.
I was literally changing my outfit in the gas station bathroom.
The things you do for love.
You'd never know. Yeah.
For design.
I know.
So tell us more about what we can expect in the future. Oh, you can't. I forgot. NDA.
Well,
So,
you're
I
going to
don't
be
think we're
seeing a lot. I do have another book coming out.
We're gonna be sick
You're
of
going to
it. I
see
love
seeing
it.
2 more books from me. One's going to be a written one.
Right.
I'm in this magazine, I
Yeah,
think.
you are. You're in Bold magazine as well.
Yes, I
This
work with
is-
Julia.
This is the
Julia's
first.
just beautiful. She outdressed me today, and you did too.
Well, only from the waist up, because nobody could see my shoes, so I was like, I'll keep them in a shoe bag.
I know.
But what do
Yeah,
you
this
think
is hot.
of this magazine? 'Cause
I
it's-
love it.
It's a mixture
Oh
of
my
everything.
God.
Look at that. I knew you would love this. So let me just show it. It's Jen Eyre's.
It's the Jen Eyre Black Magazine. Black Magazine, the Black Refrigerator.
It is
But
gorgeous.
do you know why? So
'Cause you
if
were
go
talking
into
about
Whole
Black
Foods,
Pool.
If you go into Whole Foods or any grocery store, you'll notice that the produce shelves in the refrigerators are black. Why are they black? Because the produce, any color that's shown on black, shows up better, and the produce looks fresher. So people don't realize, like, oh, why would you have a black refrigerator? But look in your Whole Foods when you're in there next. Yeah, when you're in your Whole Foods next or anywhere, you'll see the shelves are all black. But yeah, I want this refrigerator. Do you know how much this is?
No, I don't. I
It's
don't
like-
want to know. I don't need to know to stick a shock.
It's like 2 cars. Just 2 cars, 2 small cars.
I mean, who needs 2 cars anyway? You only have one
Yeah.
set of hands to drive them.
Exactly.
Whoa. So
Mary.
isn't this beautiful? Look
Oh.
at the tile on that.
I know. I
knew
can't
you'd
wait to
love it.
see everybody. I know this tile. It's the tile from Impanema, Oompa Impanema.
He said it and I forget it now. But
Darling.
where can everyone
Darling.
find you?
How could you forget what Barry said earlier?
No, I mean, 'cause there's been 3
Where
other
can everybody
interviews.
find me? You can find me everywhere. The Danny Russo on Instagram, Danny Russo on Instagram, and DanielHome.com.
And tell us a little bit about SRG Interiors.
SRG Interiors. Well, my home company is SRG Interiors. My brand is Daniel Russo Home. You'll be seeing us come out with a bedding line.
There we go. That's
We're
what
coming
I'm
out.
looking for.
Okay. Yeah, that's on next on my meeting stop. But yeah, we're gonna do bedding.
So I have a bed that might need it.
So I've been working on this line for about 2-3 years. So I've gotten to the point where I'm going to just pick 2 sizes, a king size and a queen size. It's going to come in 3 colors, a 5-piece and 7-piece set.
You only need royal sizes.
Yeah, a light color, a medium color, and a dark color, and it's very textured. I've tested it out at my own home, and it looks brand new, and I've had it for 3 years. So
Fabulous.
yeah, it's
The
real
bed that I
textured and
got
looks like a
for
river.
Looks horrible now. It did not
I didn't
age
like it
well.
either.
Oh, now you tell me. I
Well,
asked you.
I didn't want to tell you, like, unless I'm there.
say something
You did try to make the
temporary
bed, and Jay helped make the bed that day. Yeah.
The one time, I'm pretty sure. So. No, I'm kidding. He's very helpful.
Yeah, we've done all your art in your house via FaceTime.
All during FaceTime. I'm telling you, you can do anything virtually if you put your
Ugh.
mind to it.
I hate that
So,
word though.
Virtual.
Yeah, I'm so over the virtual everything. Like,
That's the same thing Julia said, but we're
I gotta
back.
go to a virtual meeting. I'm so happy. So happy to be back.
I'm just happy that I don't have to travel as much
Yeah.
with virtual, so that's one good thing.
Well,
But I'm
I'm
ready
back
to
on the
travel
road.
again. I'm ready to see everybody in person.
yeah.
Yeah,
same.
so.
Oh,
That's
champagne's
my cue.
popping.
All
yeah.
right, so the party has begun, and thank you
Yes.
so much for joining
Thank you
me.
for having
and
me.
I appreciate
I
you
love
so much. I
you.
love you more, and thank you so much for that
Yes.
donation to George Floyd's
I'm
Memorial
so excited
Center.
that I can do it. And thank
You're the
you for all your
best.
hard work.
Well, you know, I try my best. All right.
This is literally the first moment I am sitting down to see the actual, like, printed version. Ah,
That's
we've
your
got.
baby.
Yeah, this is my baby. This is my baby.
You've
I'm-
delivered, and she's
Yeah.
gorgeous. You have a girl
I-
and a boy.
That's so.
And she's well designed.
I know.
So
I'm
tell us about
excited.
Bold Design. What made you so? First off, this is the E-Spot with Camille, and you're meeting my guest today, Julia Molloy, and she is the
Hi.
Empress-in-Chief
Empress-in-Chief.
of Bold Magazine, but and Bold Summit. She's an amazing woman doing amazing things, and we're going to learn so much from her today. So this is your first time seeing your magazine, brand new, first
This
issue.
literally just came out. Yeah, so
what
we
are your
just.
thoughts? What are you thinking?
I mean, I'm kind of a little misty because it's like I'm just now seeing it, and
Seeing why you
I.
get so much love.
We worked so hard on it, and it's just beautiful.
So how did it start? Oh my gosh, you're really tearing up. So how did you get started with Bold? What made you decide that I need to make a print version of what you're doing?
Well, I wanted to do something really creative because I'm a business, I guess, consultant, coach. However, I help interior designers to, reach their potential, and I love that. but I also have this like real creative side to me, and I also know all of these great brands and connections and all
I'm
these
partial to the one
resources.
called Camilla.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't that feel fabulous, people?
I think it was like caftans or something. Camilla? This
Camilla.
magazine's made for me.
Damn.
You have so many great articles
I
in it, like
know.
with Barrie Livingstone, who
I
I
know.
had earlier on.
I
and
know,
so
isn't
on.
he
So,
lovely? I love him
I
so
mean,
much. Yeah.
So when you were putting this magazine together, what were you thinking? Because it's not just it's not just interior design.
Yes.
It's more.
Okay, so this is what I was really excited. So this is Bold is business of luxury design, and I wanted to create something that like is just kind of breaks some rules and not just be all about one industry, and really fashion, interior design, lifestyle, like really good spas and shoes and clothing, and just
Speaking my language.
fabulous things that like really make life fun and feel lush, and they all blend and they all play a part in interior design, fashion, architecture, lifestyle, travel. So I wanted to showcase some of that and bring the inspiration and like bring it all together in one place where creatives, principal interior designers, architects, fashion designers, we all come together and like see all this like how it all mixes and synergizes together and gets all good,
Because it's like gumbo in a way, in the sense that art and design, it's not just one thing. There's so many different things that inspire artists or inspire interior designers, inspire fashion designers. So it's great to have one magazine that covers it all and speaks to it all, because you have like actual designers speaking about different things, and you have artists. It's just an amazing book.
And
So
there's
I'm
like
really
real
excited
business
about it.
tools. There's interviews and showcases from interior designers. Allison Eden is in there. If you guys know her, she's just crazy bold and amazing. And we have Sarah Deanna, who's like a runway model, like a famous runway model. And then we have like business art. Of course, I do the business articles. I do the boring one.
I mean, but you make business fun, right?
Yeah,
So-
I do kind of. Yeah, you gotta have a
Because you
little
also
fun
are
with
doing these classes now
Yeah.
to help people to really
Yeah.
take their business to the next level. So
Yes.
tell a little bit about that and what people can expect.
Oh my gosh. So this is something I just launched this year, and we did kind of a quiet soft launch. I did a couple little announcements, but I just wanted to just test it and make sure it did what I needed it to do to feel confident in it, like I did it. So I've developed this thing called 6 Weeks to Streamline, because I recognize that interior designers wanting to like build their business and like retool really after COVID, and like what is their team like, and how are they allocating resources, what's their money strategy right now, how do they get things to flow and sync up with
All
their
the
team,
things
and
artists
like,
hate to do.
and it's like all this little stuff, and they can't get ahead enough to get to the things that they really want to do and like really grow their business. And so years ago I developed this thing called the Business Blueprint, which is like 2 beefy manuals and like 25 hours of video and like all this stuff, like business in a box. But like if you are already busy, you're gonna have heart palpitations.
I'm a little AD. Well, I'm not a little AD. I'm diagnosed ADHD, so 25 hours, good luck.
yeah.
That's more than Game of Thrones.
I know.
I barely made it.
It's a lot. So what I did was I'm like, right now everyone just needs to like learn how to be streamlined. What team members do they need? What do they do? How do they sync up? How do you keep everyone on task? All the things that like take up all of your time and focus. And I'm like, I'm gonna pull that, and I just pulled it into the 6-week course. There's like a short video, and then the accompanying like document or thing. So you just like watch that day's video or whatever, and there's like a few videos and
But it's at
lessons
your
per
leisure,
week.
too.
Yes. And it's like paced out in a way that just makes super sense, and you just do it. And I felt like it was really strong, and it's what interior designers need to get to the next level, so that they can handle more, that they can create more, that they can get more business. But when you're drowning and just barely treading water, you can't even think that far ahead. So this is that thing that gets them to like, okay, you on it, you own it, you're empowered. Like it helps you, it really does help you align with your power as a leader, as a boss, as a designer, because you are handling your business.
Yes.
You know?
So what
You
would
don't
be
feel sloppy. You don't feel like you're like, oh, I'm just not good at that, or oh God, it's like no, you're better than that, and people they know. My client, you are better than that. It's just you need some tools, you need some ways to like do it, and it will work. And anyway, we just recently got like a first set of graduates that have made it through it, and so that was really exciting because the testimonials are crazy good. So I'm like, okay, it does it. It does the thing that I needed it to do. And
It works not just for yourself, but for everyone.
yeah, like
it's a
'cause
perfect
I didn't
template.
want to. I didn't want to like just be like it's gonna change your life, and you know, I'm all about like walk your talk, you know. But everyone that's taken it has been like, oh my God, this is everything. This just
So what can
changed
they expect?
everything.
Though? What are some of the top 3 tips you would give?
Okay, so all about the roles, first of all. Like your role, each role, and what they do, what are the pass-offs, how to synchronize your team, what's the tool that you use, and the method. A lot of people are doing the team sync meetings on Monday, but there's some ways in which to nudge that really get it so that you know what is happening in your office all the time. Everyone is being able to be proactive. Like you get in a rhythm, and it's not like, oh my God, what are we doing today? Which, it's always like that because it's designed, but
You just never can
but
know what's
yeah,
gonna happen.
so it's definitely the team stuff, and then also all of these things that are downloaded like out of your brain. These, when you get overwhelmed, it's really difficult to feel like you are calm, confident, like on point. And the tools and methods, and I literally give you the things to do it. I'm not like, well, you really should create a checklist that does, that would be a good idea.
You give them the PDF to just
I
copy
just like
paste,
this is
yeah.
not like literally it's a Word document. Put in your logo, change up your words, like
Even
like,
better.
Just here it is. Just make it your own. It's ready to go. So just organizational tools and methodologies to sync everyone up, and also to get an office rhythm, like what days do we do what, and also profit strategy. People are afraid to hire, but when they understand, and I walk you through, like your designers are a revenue center. If you have them 70% billable or higher, like there's things that I walk you through. So just absolute
She gave
clarity.
way more than 3. I hope you guys were taking notes
Okay.
because
it's just
I'm just
clarity. It's just absolute clarity, tools, methods, and you're like bam, 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 and you like own it.
saying. No, I
6
love that. You
weeks.
can tell that you're excited
Yeah,
about
yeah,
what you teach
yeah.
if you're willing to just tell everyone.
I know.
So I appreciate
yeah,
it.
yeah.
No, genuinely. So you're having your big party today for your brand new magazine here at High Point Market. It's going to be super crowded and crazy. So tell me, what are you expecting? What's next for you? What do you want to do next?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I want to get through High Point first.
Good point. Good point.
Get through High
'Cause
Point.
even with the magazine, is it something that's going to be monthly?
Yeah. Okay. So we're doing it quarterly.
Okay.
So every quarter, I don't think I can handle any more than that right now. Plus, we really want to curate the content. I don't just want to be like, oh my God, I need another article. Like everything, if you read it, like there's a lot of love and care, and like we're very mindful about.
Like it's changed around. It's not the same Times New York print.
Yes, like, and I have a graphic design degree, so I mean, we had fun with this. Like, I mean, Allison Eden's article, she does mosaics, glass tile mosaics. So I'm like, I want her. She doesn't even know. Can I tell? She doesn't even know what it looks like. She's gonna see it. She's gonna see it. She doesn't even know. I'm like, Allison, I want to blow her mind. I'm gonna make her article look like a mosaic tile. I don't know how to do that, but let's just figure something out. Let's do that. So it's a creative expression. So I want to have plenty of time, and I want to like really be able to showcase the brands that we kind of bring into the fold with Bold, and make sure we're of service to our community, so that it's worthwhile to read. So that is definitely on the menu. And then the next big thing, like this isn't enough, right?
Yeah, no, I'm always trying to
I'm
get the
like a little
exclusive.
bored.
Sorry,
I'm super
sorry.
a little bored right
Pushing
now. But the next big thing is the Bold Summit. The Bold Summit, we are going to actually happen. I've been getting a ton of requests,
Wait,
what's
is it
happening?
in person or virtual?
Yes, it's in person. Okay, first of all, because everyone's like, when are you going to do it? We were going to have it in 2020, because I'm like, Bold 2020, that sounds cool. Anyway, it's like it was going to be in April, and it just was, the timing was all wrong, so as we know. And then they're like, well, you should do a virtual, and I'm like, you know what, you go Bold or you go home. Like, I'm not wasting, it's not for us. Like, we're going to hold off until we can do it right. So we're going to be doing it right in April or March, spring of 2022, and it's going to happen, I think, in Dallas. Probably at the DMC. We got our posse down there. And it is going to be off the hook. And I mean, it's all the things as we're emerging out of the pandemic, new business models, tons of really interesting technology have come out. So it's basically galvanizing the best of the interior design industry and getting them all in one place. And we have luminaries coming in, the Bold Masters. It's like Oscars meets Tony Robbins meets like
let's
all
think
these
about there
things.
should
Like
be
yeah,
a
it's
big
like
award
it's like
show
the
like
thing.
that.
It's pretty amazing. And there's round tables where you get to sit with, like, we had Kelly Hoppin and Vincent Wolf and Clodagh, and like every year we have different Bold Masters, and all the speakers are absolutely brilliant. And so you get to, as an attendee, you get to choose what, like, round table, like, oh, I want to learn more about what they were talking about, or I want to ask Kelly Hoppin a question about my business. Like,
You don't have to slide into anybody's DMs. You get to see them right
You
in
get to
person.
sit there, and like everything's together, like the lunches and dinners, and so it's a very high level. It's not like cursory basic information. It's like, this is for designers that are focusing on a luxury level for their business and are functioning at a pretty high level themselves, with obviously room to improve. And just great collaboration on a very high level. And it's not like a snooty, like, oh, you're part of the club and we're going to just go do this and that and just be cool together. It's like, it's very soulful. It's like our little sanctuary. And I open up every single Bold Summit we've ever had and been like, what happens at Bold stays at Bold. Okay, first of all, yeah, exactly. And you know, and it's very soulful, and you make these like lifelong connections with people that you probably only imagined you would ever talk to, and it's pretty amazing. And content is like 2.5 days long. It's intense. It's really intense, with like evening stuff going on, fabulous dinners that you get to dress up for, and I mean, it's really
Sounds like all the things.
it is all the things. And it really does take a year or two. We usually do it every other year because it takes a lot to plan this. We have over 20 speakers. It's like, it's robust.
It's a lot to handle. I mean, you're the Empress-in-Chief of magazine. You're doing the summits at Homes, and you're going to be doing this. Yeah, I think you need to wait till 2022.
Yeah, so this doesn't even give us that long. I mean, I know,
Maybe
exactly.
math on a Saturday.
Yeah, exactly.
But still,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So you're here at High Point Market.
Yeah.
It's exciting to be back, especially not virtually. So
I
what have you
know.
gained from it? What advice do you have for people that might be their first time at market or first time coming
Oh my
back to market?
gosh. I mean, just come with an open mind. Think about your projects. Think about your dream projects, the things that you want to create going forward. Cultivate your style. Cultivate a new look that you haven't done before. There's everything here.
Good time to go bold, right?
Yeah, it really is a good time to go bold, and just don't, even if you're shopping for projects, like, step out of that, like, I am in service to my client right now. Of course you've got to do that, but also tap into, like, who am I as a master creator? And I have literally everything I could ever hope to find here. What can I do with that? Let's, like, think outside the box.
This is definitely
Yeah.
a place you can get every color in your crayon box.
Yeah, exactly. Whether it's like helping to cultivate a new product line or doing, you know, an online store with just some things. There's revenue streams associated with all kinds of things here. And really, in terms of like making your business super profitable, it's all about buy low, sell high. So like if you're one of those designers that's still doing retail, like get to High Point, because you can never make enough money that way. You just
All about
can't.
that money, right?
All about that money. Oh my God, Allison Eden said this thing. She has a big thing that she made out of this glass tile. She showed me. Oh, this is on the video, you guys. This is not just a magazine. There's videos in the digital version. You got to watch Bold TV. It's awesome. I did interviews with these
How
people.
did you skip all of that
I don't
part?
know.
Okay, so there's Bold TV,
Yeah,
Bold
there's Bold-
Magazine,
yeah.
and Bold Summit.
Yeah.
I'm in love.
Yeah, it's
So
super awesome.
what's
But
coming-
wait, I had to tell you, no money, no honey is what Allison had on her.
I love that
It was
one.
great.
'Cause
Anyway.
there was a song, if you can't pay the, I don't remember
I
the
don't
words.
know.
Yeah, but I love that one even
Yeah, she's
better.
like,
No money, no
No
honey.
honey, I don't know. Allison, shout out to Allison.
bee.
Exactly.
So tell everyone how they can keep up with you and find out more about Bold Magazine, Bold Summit, Bold TV.
Okay. Well, you can subscribe to the magazine, and we will send it to you digitally. And we are working on our like larger distribution for the actual printed, because I'm getting a lot of requests for printed versions, especially since they're so beautiful, even from showrooms, interior designers wanting them in their space, and just whatever. So I will actually be selling them, like you get like a subscription to the magazine. We'll just send it out. I know, exactly.
Yeah.
So you'll have to go to boldbydesignmagazine.com and, you know, sign up there.
Yeah, and
And
then you're also on Instagram.
oh yeah, Bold by Design Magazine Instagram, and I'm personally Julia Molloy 1, and my website is juliamolloy.com. olivia.com, and that's where you can sign up for the course or learn more about it. Oh, also, Camille, sometimes it's really hard to know whether it's like a good choice. You know, when you're trying to make business decisions about like what consultant, what program, like what do I need right now. So I do offer a complimentary needs assessment. I mean, I usually spend like
Complimentary means free. I can always afford free. You don't need money with that, honey.
You're too much. You are too much. Oh my God, you're cracking me up. Yeah.
That's exciting. So they get a free consultation.
Yeah, I mean, I just call. Yeah, I mean, call them, and whether it's with me or another consultant or they need something, I literally download as much as I possibly can to help them like navigate where they're at in their growth curve and like what they need to do.
Know exactly which system they might need to use in the
Yes.
Bold Summit too. So you even curate that.
Yeah. So
cool.
just kind of like this is what you need, and then. You know, a lot of times they come back, and sometimes they do the thing that I said. Well, you need a PR thing, or you need to focus on your social media. I mean, I help them. Go fly, go fly.
Fairy
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being on the E-Spot with Camille. I really enjoyed this conversation. I cannot wait to see what more you have to offer. And I'll have to definitely tune into Bold TV.
Well, you are gonna have to be on Bold TV, and then you're gonna have to come to Bold Summit.
Abso-freaking-lutely. I'm ready to go. I'm double vaccinated. Not double vaccinated, but double shots. I've had 2 of them. So I'm ready. See, I love that. The esthetician in me just loved that you said that. Because it could be furniture wax you were talking about.
Yeah, of course, polish.
Right? We polish. Yes, well, thank you again. So, that's what I'm an esthetician, so I was thinking waxing arms or lower. But anyway, so thank you so much for being my guest
Thanks for
today. This was
having
so
me.
much fun. I cannot wait to see more that Zuo Modern has to offer as well, because they were nice enough to let us have the party here as well as at my show here today. So
It is so cool
thank
here,
you.
too.
It is
Luis so
beautiful.
And we're giving away the Zeus mirror today.
Did I hear
Did
a
I?
goddess or a
Yeah.
god's mirror just waiting for me?
Yes.
Just kidding.
Yes, you did.
That explains the look, looking like Athena herself. Well, thank you so much again. This has been amazing,
Thanks
and
so
I'm
much,
so
Camille.
proud of you and excited for all that you have coming towards you. Because wow, it's amazing. You're doing great things. So thanks again.
Thank you.
All right.
It's on my schedule for every 6 months.
So this year is like the first time it's back in person. It was virtual because of the pandemic and so on. And you being an artist, I want to start back from the very beginning. How did you get into being an artist?
Camille, when I was growing up, we didn't have Netflix, we didn't have HBO. We had
Well, Netflix.
we finally got a color TV, I think when I might have been 11 years old, and the color was a tri-layered screen that you put over the TV, and the top layer was yellow, that was blue, that was green, and then it was kind of faded out. And that
I think
was
you got
color
tricked.
TV. Yeah, she did for sure. So watching TV was never one of my favorite things to do. Not like I had a choice to watch TV anyway, but there were so many other things that I found really fascinating, like drawing and competing with my brothers at the time in drawing contests. My dad was a painter, so I would like sneak into his paints, create my own artwork. So it was part of who I am. Yeah.
So, what made you decide to start to be it as a profession? Because many people might feel like they're good at art or are an artist, but there's always been that push of you need to have a real job, you need to have a career, you need to have a plan B, so to speak. But you never really did. So, tell everyone how you were able to manage that and what advice you would give to other artists.
Well, I was defiant and determined. And I think with certain values, if you really pay attention and focus on what's important to you, your passions will feed you. And that has led me throughout my life. My mother used to say, so what are you going to do for a living? I know you like art, but how are you going to feed yourself? I said, well, Mama, let's just give it a try and see what happens. And she stopped asking me that when I sold my first painting for $5,000 and I showed her the check. She was like, how did you make that? And I was like, my passion is feeding me, Mama.
That would do it. So
I did it.
That brings up a really great point. A lot of times people don't know how to price their artwork, and I love your answer for it because it doesn't matter how long it takes you. It's the years you spend preparing for it? Can you say, because you say it in such a more elegant way, but
You know, I think a good example would be what Picasso, although he may not be one of my favorite artists, said in a restaurant to a couple that walked in and noticed that it was Picasso. And the wife said, "Oh, that's Picasso. Let me see if he can just draw something on this little napkin for me." And the husband said, "Great." So she walks up and says, "Oh, I'm so happy to meet you. Can you just draw something on this napkin?" He said, "It's going to cost you." And she says, "Oh, I don't mind knowing this. It's just a napkin. It can't be much of anything." So he scribbled something. And she says, "How much?" He said, $15,000.
I'm so happy to see you.
She said, "But it only took you 2 seconds." But he said, "Well, it took me 35 years to be able to do this 2 seconds." So anyway, it's an accumulation of time and interest in your passion that affords you the opportunity for it to give back. And that's, I just think sticking with what drives you will not lead you astray.
and it's interesting that when you brought that up, because it only took me a few seconds and it was just a napkin. But the fact is, when you're an artist, you took years of classes, you took years of practice to get to a point where you even feel confident enough to ask for money. And once you get to that level, you're not going to just give your artwork away. And so that's a really good point that a lot of people need to be aware of.
It's my profession. It's what I studied in college. And I've been preparing myself through my creative endeavors all of my life. And it's just like any other profession. When you work for it, it should be able to reward you.
And you've had some very famous people purchase your work, have your work. I mean, everybody knows Oprah. So Oprah owns some of your artwork, but then it's been on several different TV shows and movies as well. And over the years, it's just caught the eyes of the best designers as well. So I'm curious for you, do you have any advice for artists that are thinking of getting into the art world? Is there anything you would give them or tell them, any new or upcoming artists?
I would say to be true to yourself.
Yeah, you know what?
Don't try to mimic the work of someone else.
Oh, they call us every
I
day.
think that in time, your personal style will be revealed. And go with your personal style because you are unique for a reason. And your artwork should uniquely reflect who you are. That's what I believe. So.
Could not disagree, or not, sorry, not disagree. Could not agree more. So, you're here at High Point Market. We're here in Zuo Modern's beautiful
Yes.
showroom. So I'm curious, what trends are you noticing as an artist? Or is there anything that you would even suggest for people to keep an eye out for? Because you're an artist and you can see all the wonderful things that are here. What are you
Well,
thinking?
one of the things that brings me to the High Point Market every 6 months is to see the playfulness in colors and styles and designs. There's a whole world of creativity that comes together every 6 months, and they showcase what they've been working on. And I find it fascinating to see a juxtaposition of colors and styles, and it's just exciting.
Now, what do you think also, because we were talking earlier about how a lot of things are kind of like they're just, what was old is becoming new again. And I love it because I have a thing for 60s showgirls. I want to have a 60s showgirl dressing room one day, so all this velvet and bright bold gold and everything, I'm just loving it. Even the piece behind us with the gold.
Right.
What do you
Well,
think
you know,
about all of this?
I've always heard that nothing is new. There's a circle, there's a cycle, and everything, it kind of revolves and it comes back and it's new again. Although, for example, mid-century design, I think is really very popular right now, but a lot of people don't know it's really a mimic of the mid-century. The simplicity, the straight lines,
the velvet, and the shag pillow.
shag.
I mean, everybody loves the beautiful textures. I think because so many people are home, they really wanted things that were comfortable and just
beautiful.
felt like,
Yeah, this is the time for reflection and to see that your environment feeds you. And I think that because now so many people will continue to work from home, that they want an environment that gives them happiness and sparks joy and makes them smile. So a lot of times I've been asked, oh, should I do this or can I do that? And the answer is yes, you can do it. There's no in design. Do what makes you smile. that's the key, that you're happy with it. And a lot of people see artwork as an investment, which it can be, but the main thing when you're looking at artwork is, do you like it?
How does it make you feel?
Yeah, do you like that work? And can you see that in your environment?
So speaking of it,
Yes.
all the artwork that I have at on my show is all by you. And the reason that I have them there is because they make me feel empowered. They give me that freedom, and just, I have this painting and it's just this woman that looks like she's just jumping in the sky, or maybe she's jumping into the ocean. Like, we can be both. And either way, she's living boldly. She's living 100%, and her eyes are closed, and she's just taking the leap, and the net will be there for her, whatever it may
Thank
be,
you.
or the river, the ocean, whatever it may be. And so I love that your artwork evokes that kind of emotion
Thank you.
of
Yeah.
you can be anything, you can do anything, and your artwork is just, I don't know, it's just like a free flow of just beautiful colors and excitement. Was there ever a time you thought about maybe going a different way, or you love keeping it light and beautiful and
You know,
colorful?
it depends on my feelings, because I paint from within, and if I'm feeling blue, you might see that in my artwork too. If I'm happy and I am feeling, you know, it's just really a reflection of who I am at the moment that I'm creating the work. So the piece that you got, I was actually in a great place and a great element, and it is revealed in the artwork. So it's multi-layered. There's so many parts of my personality that's revealed in the work. As a matter of fact, there was a time when I would just work, put it in the closet, start something else, put it in the closet. Because when you paint and you reveal what you've painted, you are revealing your soul. You know, this is who I am, this is my passion, these are my shortcomings. I see all of that in my work, and you may not see it, but it's all there. So it's
I'm gonna have to
really
look a little
like-
more deeper so I can find out what's really going on in my mom's head.
It's all right there. You don't even have to look deep.
It's all in hieroglyphics. I got it. Abstract hieroglyphics at that.
Yes.
So I want to make sure everyone knows how they can keep up with you and find
Okay.
you and get. Oh, we didn't even talk about your earrings yet. We got to talk about your
We'll do
earrings.
another series if you like.
Okay, perfect.
Good.
So we'll have to do it again.
Well, just to mention, these are paper, and they're miniature artworks that I created. Very, very lightweight, so they don't stress your earlobes.
Which is perfect.
Yeah, but you can find me at OliviaGatewood.com. I'm on Facebook, same name, and Instagram, Olivia Gatewood Art.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being my
My
guest today. It's
pleasure,
not like you had a
Camille.
choice. The joys of nepotism finally
Oh.
kicks in. But thanks again for everyone tuning in. This is the E-Spot with Camille and Olivia Gatewood.